My name is Greg Bogosian, and I love everything about New England. Each week, I travel the region searching for adventure. And along the way, I visit the places and the people that make New England extraordinary. This is New England like you've never seen it before. This is New England Traveler. Welcome back to another episode of New England Traveler. I travel all over New England making my show, but sometimes you want to keep things simple and stay local, kind of like a staycation. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. So I invite you to join me as I explore my hometown of Beverly, Massachusetts. Let's check it out. My first stop today is the historic Cabot Cinema, which kind of anchors downtown Beverly right on Cabot Street. But before we head to the Cabot, let me show you around a bit. New England has its share of historic cities and towns. Each one has its own colorful story, and Beverly, Massachusetts is no exception. Beverly is a beautiful town with a lot of history, most notable as being the birthplace of General Washington's Navy. Set on the Atlantic, just about 30 miles north of Boston, there is no shortage of things to do and beautiful places to relax. From a bustling downtown full of shops, restaurants, pubs, and more, to scenic beaches like Dane Street Beach and the Beverly Farms exclusive West Beach. Beverly is a great place to grow up or just to visit, and one of the places I frequently visited when I was growing up was the Cabot, and that's where I'm headed now to meet Executive Director Casey Sword. Well, Casey, thank you so much for inviting me back to the Cabot. I honestly don't think I've been here since like the 6th grade. I'm really excited because I heard you guys have restored the whole theater. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done a lot of work here, Greg, over the last 6 years or so since we've been restoring it as a nonprofit. And I'd love to show you a little bit upstairs in our balcony.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Wonderful.
Oh, John, no pro cameras, no flash, no video, so we gotta shut it down. I'm sorry, Casey, we gotta shut it down.
Yeah, so we're heading up to our historic balcony, and this is actually the largest amount of seating in the theater is in the balcony.
Really?
Which is kind of odd for a theater. Most of the time, the orchestra levels where you get most of your seats.
It's amazing, you know, with all the decorative artwork and stuff, all the little, like, the gold leafing and everything. I just, wow.
No, it is. I mean, 100 years ago when they built these movie palaces, they were built to be, the experience of the building was just as powerful as what you saw on the stage or on the screen. And that's something that I think is a little bit lost today. You know, when you go to the mall and places like that, you don't have that same feeling of grandeur and opulence that you have with these original movie palaces. It's something we think about whenever we program and whenever we bring people in, and it's wonderful to still, to this day, watch a movie with 850 people. It's a lot different than watching it at home on your couch.
Well, I'm sure glad I got off my couch this morning to meet Casey Sword and explore the historic Cabot right in the heart of downtown Beverly on Cabot Street. And just a stone's throw from Cabot Street is another piece of Beverly history, Lynch Park. Lynch Park is a perfect location for a family picnic, an ice cream from Captain Dusty's, or a day at one of its 2 sandy beaches. Situated on a point with views of the Atlantic Ocean to the east and Woodbury Cove to the west, Lynch Park was at one time the site of U.S. President William Howard Taft's summer residence. Now it's time to get back to my visit with Casey Sword at the Cabot. All right, Casey, so tell me about the history of this iconic Cabot Cinema.
It opened on December 8th, 1920, immediately following the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. So the theater opened for vaudeville and silent movies and played the vaudeville for about into the 40s or so, and then only showed movies right through the 40s, 50s, 60s. And then in the late 70s, LeGrand David and his Spectacular Magic Company came in with their stage magic show, and eventually became the longest running magic show in the world. They hold the Guinness Book of World Records. That show closed in 2012 after an incredible run that they had here at the Cabot. In 2012 to 2014, the theater sat dark and it was vacant. It was for sale from the Magic Company. There was a lot of concern that it was going to be turned into condos or redeveloped or just demolished. There was a group of 5 guys, we call them our founders, and they saved this theater. They bought it from the Magic Company and immediately opened it up and started running movies and starting to get community feedback to figure out what the community wanted to do with it.
My show would not be complete without some behind-the-scenes action, so let's kick it up a notch.
So this is the hallway to the stage where many have been before us.
Wow.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of performances in the Cabot since 1920. So here is our stage, Greg. This is where you get the sense of wonder of what the Cabot truly is. You get to see all 850 seats.
There's a lot more from the historic Cabot ahead. For now, I'm getting thirsty. So when we come back, I'm heading right down the street to Gentile Brewing Company.
We're gonna go for another round here. Yes, I am still thirsty.
Yeah, cheers.
Beverly has many cool and unique places to explore. So before I head back to learn more about the Cabot with Casey Sword, I'm going to quench my thirst.
Over the past 10 or 15 years or so, a lot of really cool restaurants and microbreweries have been popping up in and around downtown Beverly and beyond. And the place we're going to next, Gentile Brewing Company, is just such a place. I'm going over to meet owners Paul and Kristen Gentile at Gentile Brewing Company. All right, I have arrived at Gentile Brewing Company. Paul, hey, nice to meet you. Kristen,
Nice to meet
you
you.
gonna show me around? We gonna drink some beer or what?
Absolutely, we're gonna do all of it.
Great.
Awesome, let's go. Paul, Kristen Gentile, thank you so much for inviting me down to your brewing company. A little toast.
Thanks for coming in. It's nice to have you.
Nice to be here. Cheers. Let's start at the beginning. Why did you guys start a brewing company? Because I am personally envious of that.
I never had it in my head that I wanted to brew beer. Never had it in my head. And I got a brewing kit for my 25th birthday. We went through the whole process and it came out really, really good. And she drank it and she was like, this is really good.
I love beer.
She loves beer and I love beer. So that worked really well. Basically, I learned the entire business of brewing, from putting it in package to actually making it, to getting all the materials and getting rid of the finished product. Also, there was like no breweries within miles of Beverly. This building was built in 1884.
Wow.
And it's the last standing shoe factory in this stretch, probably in this city.
You know, not only a supportive wife, but she didn't just say, you need to stop talking about this. She gave you a choice.
Right.
She said, you need to stop talking about this or do it. Right? Which is awesome. Right. That's
Because, I've been tasting his beer for years.
Yeah.
And I believed
You
in
saw the
him.
potential.
Yeah.
You saw the potential.
Absolutely. And I knew, that it would benefit me also.
Yeah. You get to drink all the beer you want.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. So explain the canning process to me, because like I said, you have the tap room, but you know, if someone is not here, they can get it elsewhere, right?
Yeah. So we started canning back in February of 2018, but we partnered with State 64, which is a micro canner based in New Hampshire. And he literally has a truck and a trailer that he puts the equipment in, drives it down here, and then drags it out of the trailer, sets it up, cans what we have, cleans it up, packs it up, heads back. So for us, low cost and no maintenance.
Right.
Yeah, our flight boards were actually handmade by Paul's father.
Great presentation.
Now that I've learned all about the business, it's time for me to sit down with Paul in the tap room and enjoy a flight of their most popular beers.
Okay, so what do we got here?
Yeah, we poured 5 different beers for you.
Okay.
So this is our summer sour.
Okay. I don't like sour beers per se, but we're gonna try it.
Try it. That's why we're here.
All right, here.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You know what? It's not too sour. This is a really tasty, light summer beer.
What do we got next?
So the next is our Hefeweizen.
Good. It's crisp. It's clean.
Yeah. So the third one is our Imperial Porter. It's a scaled up version of our porter.
Yeah. It's a heavier taste, but not a heavier body. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah, I would order this. I would order this for sure.
Fourth one.
So the fourth one, I'm drinking this as well. This is our English bitter, but this one is
Cheers.
served on nitro.
Really smooth.
Right.
I mean, you almost can't taste the carbonation.
Correct.
That was
That's
very
the plan.
good.
So
Number 5.
number 5 is the one that you've been waiting for, the Italian Pilsner.
Cheers.
Cheers. Enjoy.
Sláinte. Thank you. the fruitiness there. That's really good. I mean, I could drink that all day.
Yeah.
Paul Gentile, thank you so much for inviting me down here. Your wife, Kristen, is awesome.
Yeah, she's the best.
You guys do a really amazing job. So I'm coming back.
Love it. Do it.
All right.
Make
Paul,
it happen.
thank you, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Okay, my final takeaways on Gentile Brewing Company. First, Paul and Kristen not only run a cool brewery right in my hometown of Beverly, set in a historic building right downtown, but they are two cool people who I would love to have a beer with. Second, before doing the show, I could not imagine liking a sour beer. But after my visit to Gentile, I gotta say, I'm now a fan.
If you go behind it and you say Le Grand David 3 times, that you'll actually disappear.
Paul and Kristen Gentile have turned their passion for beer into a thriving business in downtown Beverly. I will definitely be going back to their tap room to try their latest creation. For now, it's back to the Cabot and my friend, Executive Director Casey Sword.
The restoration of the theater itself is amazing because there's so much art, so much detail that you could probably, could have just plastered over if you really wanted to save money, right? You guys didn't. You took the time to really go into detail and paint, and the gold leaf thing, as I mentioned, and the artwork. What's the artwork behind us? You mentioned something about that earlier. We were walking around.
Yeah, so what we learned, I have a good friend who's a theater historian, and he publishes books about old theaters, and he came and we talked about the art, and his name is Matt Lambros. And he told me that these paintings were done by a German artist named Hans Lerman, who actually did a bunch of these theaters back in the 1920s. Yeah, this is a piece that could be, at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston.
Right. What is one thing that you want people to realize about the future of the Cabot?
All the work we're doing right now is to ensure that the Cabot is here forever. For the last 100 years, it's been a cultural icon, and it's really been the centerpiece of the downtown here in Beverly. We know how important that is to all of the people who live here. We're preserving as much of the beautiful history of this place as we can, but we also want to give it kind of a modern look and feel, and one that actually, makes you focus on the historic artwork. So you'll see kind of the seats and all the work that we did in the lobby. It's kind of like a neutral kind of a color because it really pulls out the beautiful architectural detail of the historic part of this, and that's something we've been very intentional about.
I'll tell you a quick little anecdote that my personal relationship with the Cabot started a long time ago. I think I mentioned in 6th grade. The school got tickets for us to go see The Diary of Anne Frank in here in this beautiful movie house. So we walked from Memorial Middle School, which is not that far, but for a 6th grader, it might have been a walk. It was a couple miles, and we walked down. It started to rain a little bit, but I remember walking down here to see The Diary of Anne Frank and going up in the balcony, getting my seat, and watching this beautiful film in a beautiful theater. That was my first experience with it. And I saw some performances in movies over the years, but then Le Grand David, of course, on the stage. So, I don't know, I actually want to go on the stage and see if I can make myself disappear or something. I don't know.
So this is the hallway to the stage, where many have been before us.
Wow.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of performances in the Cabot since 1920. And this is the old hemp rope system, the pulley system, where set pieces for the magic show fly in and out, and we actually still have them labeled up here.
Wow.
So here is our stage, Greg. This is where you get the sense of wonder of what the Cabot truly is. You get to see all 850 seats. When the Cabot opened in 1920, it actually held a capacity of 1,500. So it was the same footprint, but tiny seats and tiny people. Pretty amazing.
It is amazing. I'm thinking of all the acts that have been up here. There's so many names that are just iconic, that have world famous, that have come through here and performed on this stage. It's kind of cool to be standing here.
It is. And you mentioned before, the history of film and of magic, and we hope to build a history of music here. And that becomes a new tradition, and that this becomes looked at as an iconic music venue over the decades. So I heard you're a fan of Le Grand David and his Spectacular Magic Company.
Yes, I love magic.
I've got something pretty cool to show you. So this curtain over here was something that we actually found while the theater was shut down. It's handmade by the Spectacular Magic Company.
They made this?
Yeah, they made these. All of their curtains and props were made by hand. Just incredible, the craftsmanship and the artistry that went into this. So we have made it our main curtain now, and as a way to pay tribute to the magic show.
Nice.
And I've also heard a tale about this curtain, that if you go behind it and you say Le Grand David 3 times, that you'll actually disappear. Want to try it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's try it. I'm behind the curtain. Okay, here goes nothing. Le Grand David, Le Grand David, Le Grand David.
That wasn't supposed to work. Greg?
Can we make the Niggi Hamamaki?
Sure, yeah. Anything you want.
All right, anything I want. That's fantastic. All right.
So you wanna
Like 10 Niggi Hamamakis.
Going back to the Cabot was like a trip back in time. Casey Sword rolled out the red carpet for me, and I learned a lot about this historic venue that anchors downtown Beverly.
You know, 100 years ago when they built these movie palaces, the experience of the building was just as powerful as what you saw on the stage or on the screen.
Now it's dinner time, and I'm craving sushi, so I'm heading to meet up with my friend Bo Tang, who owns one of my favorite spots in town, Kame Restaurant.
Bo, thank you very much for having me back to Kame.
Hey, great.
I heard you're going to try some new things out of me today. That's great. What are you going to make me?
Fish cocktail, beef tataki, yeah. And then also yellow teal color.
Before you make me these awesome creations, I would like to try to learn how to make a sushi roll.
I can teach you.
Okay, here we go. All right. I got my gloves.
You're a sushi chef.
Now I am a sushi chef. Can we make the Niggi Hamamaki?
Sure, yeah. Anything you want.
All right, anything I want. That's fantastic. All right.
So you wanna
Like 10 Niggi Hamamakis. I have to cut the yellowtail?
get a cut.
And then straight down. Fast?
Go back. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to grab one piece of seaweed here. One piece of seaweed. And I'm going to go like this, a little rice.
Yeah.
Okay. Spread it out like this, right?
Yes, yeah, that's it.
And then one fish,
Yeah.
like this.
Sure.
Oh, can't forget the sesame seed right here. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment right here. Moment of truth. Oh, come on. Come on. That's not bad for my first try. All right, it's not the best looking sushi roll I've ever seen.
Hey, first try, not bad, man.
I mean, come on, I would eat that. All right, well, Bo, thank you very much for showing me how to make a sushi roll. My favorite, Niggi Hamamaki. I'd like to go back and maybe have Lily make me a little Mai Tai, or she has a couple drinks she's gonna make me.
Actually, come to think of it, I always order a Mai Tai when I come to Kame. I think I'll let Lily decide.
Hi, my name is Lily Tang, Bo's wife, the owner of the Kame restaurant, and today I'm going to make river cosmos. First thing we put citron absolute. After we put lime juice, and then we put a little bit of triple sec, white cranberry juice. Like that, no problem.
They have the dried cranberries on the bottom of the drink, which give it a little extra flavor and really make that drink pop. Okay, the second drink that Lily made for me was the Moscow Mule. Lily puts the special Kame touch into her Moscow Mule. I love ginger beer, non-alcoholic and alcoholic, and when you add it to a Moscow Mule, it's phenomenal. All right, drink number 3 on Lily's list was the Mai Tai. She wouldn't tell us what's in it. She said it was a secret recipe. I don't even have to describe it. I'll just tell you, just come down to Kame, order the Kame Mai Tai. If you like Mai Tais, you can't go wrong. Cheers. Okay, when I come to Kame, which is often, I always order the same things. But tonight, Bo was nice enough to make me 3 special things that he likes that were his favorites for me to try. First was the fish cocktail. I still love Niggi Hamamaki. I still love my rolls and my tuna, but every time I come in here, that is number 1. Second was the yellowtail tuna tataki and the beef tataki combo plate. Now that's something that's not on the menu. You have to order it special. Tell them Bo that New England Traveler sent you. Ask for Bo. Tell him you got to make the yellowtail tataki beef tataki combo. It's absolutely incredible. And the third thing was the yellowtail collar. Again, something I've never had before, which I am absolutely in love with as a dish. It has the amazing yellowtail. It's cooked. It has the crispy skin on the outside. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're in Beverly, if you're in the area, come down to Kame, ask for Bo, sit at the sushi bar, get down to Kame and try it.
Dinner at Kame was amazing as always. I always enjoy my time hanging out with my friends Bo and Lily Satang and their family. If you're looking for amazing sushi in Beverly, you have to visit Kame, right in downtown on Cabot Street. Be sure to tell Bo I sent you. In this episode, I got a cool lesson in local history at the Cabot with Executive Director Casey Sword.
We've done a lot of work here, Greg, over the last 6 years or so since we've been restoring it as a nonprofit.
Then it was a short drive to Gentile Brewing Company where I met Paul and Kristen Gentile to talk and taste some of the best craft beer around.
I never had it in my head that I wanted to brew beer. Never had it in my head.
Back at the Cabot, I enjoyed a behind-the-scenes tour of the theater and even got to try an old magic trick.
That wasn't supposed to work. Greg?
I wrapped up my trip with a sushi dinner at one of my favorite spots in Beverly, and I even got a lesson in making a classic maki roll. I hope you enjoyed my hometown of Beverly, Massachusetts. I'll see you next time on New England Traveler.